going for, if you actually needed the game audio, those looks like some pretty comfortable headphones to put on your ears. But if you're gonna wear it around your neck, it's just like, what? These are the technical insights you can expect from today's commentary.
Yep. So this is going to be more of a three-dimensional game with the battles being viewed from behind Mega Man, so kind of like a third-person game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely going to be interesting to watch. I have not seen this one yet.
Yeah, so this is sort of an action RPG. And you can use battle cards to get things done. Looks like you're actually sort of building a deck of battle cards. They get called up at random to be used. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, and we've also got actual physical cards.
Yep.
So that's why this is the cards run, because you get physical cards that can help you out. And from what I can tell, basically no one runs the no cards run. Like if you look on the on say speedrun.com, you will note there are no runs on the any percent no cards leaderboard.
So it looks like we are getting pretty much set up here. I very much like the backgrounds. So get hyped, guys. About to get started on our next game.
All right. Ryusei no Rockman 2.
So again, our runner for this is Key Silic or Kai, depending on how
K,
you
I
pronounce
believe.
it. K. Okay.
And he just named his character after his co-commentator.
Aww.
So now you see him entering a bunch of touch ideas here. These are sort of the wave command cards that you would use to improve your situation, and it makes the speed run a bearable experience. So yes, this is Star Tapping Simulator 2017.
Will we see the Big Dipper?
Probably not. So we've got the on-head sunglasses as appropriate. And now he's being haunted.
Transform.
Alright, so now we're going to see our first fight here. We've got pretty fast. Like, so you can see you move through, you can move left to right in the battle and fire as the case may be. And you can pick up, you can deal damage to whatever you're fighting, get a little bit of experience here and there. Try not to get shot or stabbed in this case. So you've got a little bit of room to maneuver and sort of dodge the attacks going left and right, but you've also got moves that you can use to sort of mitigate those attacks. Apparently we have a guy here saying yo 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 over and over.
Is that supposed to laugh?
Possibly.
Going back and transforming again?
It looks like we are in a place called Kodama Town. Yeah, so this is similar to the Battle Network games. The battle is a little less turn-based and a little more real-time. And one more time with the translation or transformation situation. I'm going to talk to, I believe her name is Subaru. And we've got these little transmitter guys which look like chows from Sonic, but they're not.
So it's actually a lot of the cutscenes and whatnot, and the text is pretty skippable. So it cuts down a lot of time on the run too. You'll see the text will just go flying by. Screens will fade to black and then immediately kind of come out.
So on the restream, they're currently explaining that, Rockman or Mega Man is generally, a side-scrolling shooter game. This is nothing like that, as we can tell.
Skipping more cutscenes.
Yep. So this is a common experience in many action RPGs or RPG speedruns in general. Getting around, as best you can, triggers and text, and getting through that as quickly as you can, because you don't want to spend time worrying about the plot. We don't have time for that. Plot is overrated. We've got to go fast.
So yeah, it seems like a common theme so far at RTA in Japan. The runners have dressed up as something to do with their game that they've been playing. This particular runner dressing up as, of course, the main character.
And we see another common occurrence in RPG style speedruns: running away. And it looks like when you do the transformation into the Mega Man persona there, you sort of enter a parallel universe of sorts. So this is a store. It's a shopping plaza. It's going to acquire some things, and now I don't know what just happened.
He has acquired the things.
Okay. And we've been taken over by ghosts. I'm having Earthbound flashbacks.
Spooky. It's like the couch in the last run.
So I believe that the world you enter when you're in Rockman's form or Mega Man's form, it looks like those last two characters there are something like Lightning World or Electric World. And so, I mean, that makes sense. It's sort of digital robotic situation.
I love how the ghosts are doing like the luau dance. Though.
Now we have electric ghosts blocking the door. Seems like a particularly bad time for all those involved.
So now we're infusing something. And the ghosts are gone.
All right. This is TK Tower that we've just entered here. Oh, absolutely. If you are under any impression that we had any idea what we were talking about, you are mistaken. But we are doing our best here, so
I am 100% not reading a guide.
yeah, that's totally not happening. I don't have the plot description open right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to figure out if we've met the abominable snowman yet.
Huh.
I don't think so. I think we're still at the ghost. Okay, he doesn't want to touch the ghost, because if he touches the ghost, then he's gonna have to battle them. So,
And as always, avoiding random encounters is something you want to do in a speedrun strat.
heading up the tower, trying to avoid all the ghosts. Does a nice job of skipping them. Gotta wait for the right moment.
So I'm just wondering, where's Mega Man's proton pack? We're now on the second floor of TK Tower, as it's said here. This looks like an unavoidable fight. So we just wait for them all to appear and just destroy them all in one fell swoop. And it looks like we are, in fact, required to fight these ghosts because we're saving some people.
Yep. Objective of all video games, to save the world.
Pretty much.
So coming up to our boss battle here.
Oh boy.
Which I believe this should be Dark Phantom. So he's pretty slow, and his attacks are very easy to dodge. So you have to basically do that, and he's dead.
There you go.
Super fast.
I don't know if there are any animals to be saved in this game. But yes, when they at the beginning of the game, when they put in the codes for the certain cards, they made themselves pretty solidly overpowered.
So now our main character, Gio, is out of school and on his summer vacation. And he's off to go meet Luna to discuss plans on where to go.
Oh boy. Maybe he's doing so on a bus. All right. This looks like something before the hills.
So we're back at the shopping plaza.
Yep. Apparently you can restore your health by talking to the person at the very front of the shopping plaza. It's called like Ropandor Hills, I believe is the name of this area. I think it's called Wilshire Hills in the English version.
And what he just did was he went to talk to one of the NPCs, which upgrades the Star Carrier and gives you a blank card.
Ooh, blank card time.
Yep, a blank card allows you to input a series of commands to create a wave command card.
Yep, and if you saw that earlier in the game, poking stars here and there.
So at this point in time, you're going to go talk to Luna, and for your summer vacation, you are going to a ski resort.
Oh boy.
And
not gonna lie, I cannot think of a time when I would have thought of Mega Man going to a ski resort. There might be an abominable snowman there.
That's what we hear. The rumor is that there's an abominable snowman at the ski resort in Grizzly Peak.
Bum bum bum.
So naturally, let's take a bunch of 5th graders down to there.
Clearly that is the plan. By the way, I believe the Japanese name of the character is Subaru. Alright, so we round up the class and we get on the bus.
Yeah, and you have to check yourself into the hotel. Nobody will do it for you, interestingly enough. So that's why you had to go talk to the receptionist.
Yeah, and of course, you clearly have a card or something to pay for that as a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yes, and she tells you she doesn't have time for you and that she'll email you when she's not busy. So go play around the hotel. So that's what you're currently doing.
We are currently in an area called the Resort Hotel. So many things written down in this game that are actually English. And we head into the electric world. Okay, so this is basically repels that he's buying. It's called Stealth Body. I believe it fends off random encounters.
I am definitely trying to figure out where we're going.
Well, looks like, according to our runners here, there may be some skiing going on soon.
Oh, that's a scary snowman.
Oh boy. That's not creepy at all. Okay, so in the Japanese, this area appears to be called Yaiba Resort, and we're getting rid of ghost snowmen.
In the game.
So I believe that there's three snowmen that we have to delete, and that should have been, I believe, the last one.
Yep. And this resort is right outside the area he just went to, called Darume Town. I mean, to be fair, who are you gonna call anyway?
Snowman Busters.
I guess they're not technically ghost snowmen, but they look like ghost snowmen because they're sort of transparent and they only exist in an ethereal, data-like world that's not visible to normal humans.
So was that him using one of his repels? Maybe?
Possibly. We are seeing some clarification in chat, and I'm very appreciative of this. Apparently, when you're sneaking around, you can do a sort of sneak running to avoid some encounters, and another thing that factors into you being able to avoid them is your maximum health. So if your health or your health in general. So if your HP is low enough, certain monsters will aggro you no matter what.
Well, that's interesting.
So thanks for that little bit of information there, Dan Sydney in the chat. So we're now 30 minutes into this speed run with an estimate of around 2 hours, and I'd like to remind everybody that we are watching the RTA in Japan marathon. This is the English restream, and RTA in Japan showcases some of the best that Japanese speedrunning has to offer, and we'll be hosting this marathon all the way through Sunday here on Speed Gaming 3. So look forward to that. We just had ourselves a little bit of a boss fight.
Super quick one.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That boss fight did look like a cross between a Viking and a Mountie.
Yeah, that was the boss Taurus Fire. He is weak to Aqua Card, but because at this point in the game you normally don't have any Aqua Cards, then you can't exploit his elemental weakness.
Yeah, he also appears to be weak to just getting wrecked. By all of the, pretty overpowered wave command cards they picked up early on. Okay, skiing has commenced, ladies and gentlemen. We have skiing.
Yep, we are. I was about to say we're skiing uphill, some spot.
That's how physics works. That was a large number of enemies. Seemed like a good one to get away from.
Yeah. And stuff's going down. The ground is shaking.
I feel like this is like a skiing.
I think this is the
Mini
Black
game.
Diamond run.
Yeah. It's gotta save all these chow-looking things. I should
And
really
then-
find out what those things are called. Perhaps he doesn't have to save all of them.
Just needs to get 30 by the end. And gets exactly 30. So it needs to get 50 this time.
Oh wait, he was blindfolded? I should pay attention. And there he goes, gets it done. No problems there. And it looks like we've got more skiing.
This seems to be the same level as the last one.
I don't think it's quite exactly the same level, but it's the same amount you need. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That one actually looked a little easier because there were more things to save in certain places.
And there should be a boss battle coming up fairly soon. The Yeti Blizzard.
Oh boy.
So it'll be fairly soon.
Alright, so now we need 70. So this is probably going to be less than easy. And there we go. So Yeti Blizzard, as you might expect, he's got this whole, Yeti situation going on. being told that that it's easy to exploit the elemental weakness of Yeti here. Coming up.
So here's our boss battle. Battle start.
Oh. Apparently that jump kind of worried them a bit, but no real problems there. As you can see, he kind of tosses snowballs at random locations on the board, and you got to react to those. And we return to Kodama Town after, a completely uneventful ski vacation. Yeah, so there are, from what I could tell about the battle system, you can get some very interesting setups with different combos and cards and everything, but they kind of made it mostly moot by using all the wave command cards at the start to just make the guy basically unbeatable. And it appears that shortly we will have our original commentator for this game joining us. And so you guys will be able to, hear someone talk about this game who actually knows what they're talking about. It'll be great.
What do you mean? I totally know what I'm talking about. I'm totally not reading from a guide at all, I promise. So we're going to the museum.
Okay.
That's the after we go to the shopping mall.
Righto.
So we have our new star, our new star inputs.
Getting all those blank cards, putting them to good use.
So lots of cool things at the museum.
I am definitely getting a huge Earthbound vibe off of this game.
In order to move on through the museum, you have to inspect all the exhibits. So,
Wow, that sounds like quality gameplay there.
transform. Bah. Abba. Bah.
This is now Sheep Simulator.
Buh.
Sheep Simulator 2017.
Abba.
Dancing Queen? Sorry.
Battle time.
Yeah, so we got those big floating eyeballs. Which are not disturbing or creepy in the least, not one bit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
Zertinal, I don't know if I'll be singing during this stream.
I heard the Power Rangers songs were being played earlier.
Okay.
Yo, hello.
Hello, and it looks like we are joined by Juniper here in the commentary booth. Hello.
Yo.
Welcome.
Okay, so I actually run this game. I'm not sure how much you explained.
We explained very little and all poorly.
Okay, so I actually run this game, and I'll give you a quick rundown of the game mechanics and category. So this is 80% cards. There's two main categories. This one uses kind of like there was a physical toy peripheral you could buy separately in like trading card packs, and if you put it on the touch screen, it would show you little commands you could input, and these commands are what you've probably seen a really overpowered form, just spamming like a triple shockwave buster that one-shots most encounters. That's called Tribe King. In no cards you'd never see that, but that's kind of the gist of cards. It trivializes all forms of encounters, so the run can just focus on routing for like other things. So you've probably also seen him pick up a fair amount of HP here and there, especially from shops. How encounters work is he's using an item called Shinobi Dash, and it completely eliminates all encounters, but it's based on your unmodified max base HP.
Aha. Yeah, I saw an item he picked up. I think in the Japanese it said stealth body, but I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, it's stealth body in Star Force. It's Shinobi Dash in Battle Network. Thanks for making me correct myself.
No. I was just trying to make sure that I was on the same page with you.
Yeah,
So-
we're all good.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and give a goodbye to Sakura Tsubasa, who has been awake all night and needs to go to bed.
Thank you so much for commentating with me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna let Juniper do most of the commentary from here on out. If we have questions, I will chime in, but otherwise, it's your show, so.
Okay, and one thing you might have also seen is right there. There's like 2 main ways you can get extra HP in the game. There are like 4 technically types of treasure chests laying around. You can see the blue one there. Blue mystery waves, as they're called, will always contain a set item. So he's going to be getting HP from those, as well as activating side quests. So if you see like how Gio's friends have little blue profile things above their head, if somebody has a pink one, that means they have a side quest. And if he's ever doing a side quest, that means it's for HP memory. Because this game is kind of notorious. It has a really high encounter rate. God, it's been a long time since I ran these games, but I believe after 1600 frames of walking, in most places the game will start rolling for encounter checks, and at that point the game will roll for an encounter check like every frame or something, and every failed encounter check the chance to get into one increases. So that's why using stealth body is so important.
Yeah, that sounds like, an actual nightmare.
Yeah, the speedruns didn't used to use it, but as soon as I was like the person who did the big reroutes for the game, as soon as I added them into the run, like 30 minutes immediately came off. And then one other thing is, I'm really surprised you just used that battle card. Do you remember if you entered emails and was just typing in little messages earlier in the run?
I know they mentioned something about mails coming in, but that's about all I could remember.
Yeah, so Ongo Mail, I didn't have any of these in my route, and it looks like Kay took the one for Paralyzed Grenade, and it's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, the main thing is just, since your Buster can effectively one-shot most random encounters, you don't really need any extra cards. Oh wait, I know exactly what it is. So he picked up other items. They're called blank cards. In the same way he activated the Tribe King form automatically, he got a blank card that he can touch another command into, and it'll turn into almost any battle card in the game.
Right. At one point he did go, putting in more star tapping codes.
Yeah, so that's where he got the Paralyzed Grenade from. The interesting thing about this game is going from Battle Network to Star Force. In Star Force 1 and 2, you don't have the ability to set a regular battle card to draw at the start of every fight. So it's just up to the luck of the draw for what you get.
So I have a real important question. It's not that important. But my real important question is, those blue guys that transmit stuff, that
Yeah.
look like they have transmissions coming ahead? What are they called?
In English, they're called Mr. Hertz. They're the equivalent to Mr. Progs from Battle Network.
All right.
In Japanese, they're called Denpa-kun.
Aw, that's adorable.
So, like, outside of the routing for HP, and I guess K is, like, he's been doing a ton of runs for this game, so I guess he found, like, way more optimal, like, blank card setups to use with, like, the paralyzed grenade. That's really most of the routing and cards. So, other than that, it's just kind of going from plot trigger to plot trigger.
So, like, plot trigger, occasional encounter that you'll either run from or destroy in no time at all, and then there's the bosses. That's about it, right?
Yeah, and the encounters that he's actually getting are really funny. So how I said he was using an item, Stealth Body, to completely eliminate all random encounters. When one of the Mr. Hertz is actually in a battle, that means it can appear, I don't know if this is intentional or if it's bugged, but that encounter will appear through your Stealth Body. It's a 1 in 16 chance to get it.
Yeah, and I think he's gotten 2 or 3 of those.
Oh, that's amazingly bad luck. But yeah, right here, he's accepting another job for an HP memory. So you, like, talk to them while you're pulsed in. Because when Geo is transformed into Mega Man, people can't see him, so he, like, sneaks onto their Facebook page and, like, finds out what they are requesting as a job. Then you have to, like, actually talk to them in real life to accept the job.
So we have, I guess we can call this Stalker Simulator 2017.
Yeah, in the first scenario for the game, you're trying to hook this dude up with this lady friend, and you have to, like, go into her profile to find out what type of guy she likes. And then coming up is actually a really cool scenario. This is sort of like the halfway point for the run. He's gonna fight Queen Ophiuka, and when you beat this boss normally, this is the first time you should be getting your Tribon. Tribon is the name of the transformation system.
Aha.
And then you can see there's the blue chip with the red guy that does 530 damage. So one of the things about Tribe King, it doubles the damage of all your battle cards.
That sounds pretty effective to me.
Yeah, so how Tribon's normally supposed to work is there are 3 versions of this game. There's Dinosaur, Shinobi, and Berserker. And you can start off automatically in the form of your version. In the other 2 forms, you have to, like, add people as friends in game. And then you, like, draw their card in battle. And you can transform into, like, that extra thing. And if you transform into all 3 at the same time, you get Tribe King for 3 turns. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've read through the text on the Japanese version. If you're running the game with no cards, which is what I do, you have to play in the PAL version.
Right.
Yeah, so right here, this is dinosaur form. So if he was playing with no cards, he'd be in that form for most of the run. At least on this version of the game.
But of course, the things he did at the beginning allowed him to get all these forms super early and just wreck everything, right?
Yeah, correct. And it's not like cheating or anything, they're just built into the game. So if you're familiar more with the Battle Network games, you could kind of think it like just going to the lotto code trader. Personally, I prefer the run with no cards, but Kay has put a ton of effort into this category, so that's pretty cool.
So, just give us a little insight. What's the difference in time between, say, the cards run and the no cards run?
No cards is like 40 minutes longer. Because, like, he gets a lot of money, and the money he just spams the shop to buy HP memory, and you have to do some really, really long side quests and go out of your way to pick up HP mem and no cards. And that's where most of the time comes from.
So it looks like we're back in the resort.
Yeah, this is just some cleanup for getting HP memory. So, like, normally, if he was doing no cards, he'd be doing, like, a much longer job right here. No cards doesn't use Tribe King.
So this is that was another side quest being finished, right? The little pink thing over your head there.
Yeah, so just he started the side quest as Mega Man, now he's going and talking to the person in real life, and that was the side quest done. So you can see the word HP popping up. That was him getting an HP memory. So yeah, the run gets like way faster paced from this point on. It's just gonna be dungeon after dungeon until the end of the run. This scenario coming up, I believe, is the shortest in the game. It's the scenario for Brachio Wave.
Alright.
So you're also gonna see a really, really epic area. It's called the Skyway, and in the Skyway, the walk frame multiplier is 1.5 times multiplied. So where this game already had a stupidly high encounter rate before, now it's getting multiplied.
Gross. Gross indeed.
Yeah, and even with Tribe King to instantly, like, end battles with the Buster, the main time loss of them is just floating into the battle at all, so...
Right. So this is the area you were talking about?
Yeah, this is the Skyway. There's a 1.5 times walk frame multiplier here.
Well, at least we got the stealth bodies to make that work.
And this sort of acts like a hub world, because, like, the main gimmick of Star Force 2 is you're supposed to be, like, traveling all around the world.
So how long does a single stealth body last?
I have all of this in paste pens somewhere.
Sorry. Sorry about putting you on the spot there. I was just curious.
Hey, it's something to talk about. I'll get the info anyway. Oh, never mind. I used to have it hosted on my website, but it's not on Pastepen. If you had to force me, I think they're 2600 frames.
So it's a number of... Is it a number of time-based frames, or is it like walking frames?
Walk-based frames. Like, when I refer to walk frames, that's every frame Geo is moving.
All right. And it doesn't give you any indication as to when it's going to stop working?
It does actually. In the upper left of the screen, the right screen, you'll see the little icon for the transer. When there's a stealth body active, there will be like a little silhouette of a person with a yellow outline. That means stealth body is active.
So like there is right now?
There's no walking in this game. You're always running.
So like that black and yellow icon there.
Correct. That means it's active.
Okay.
So in Battle Network, if you're familiar with that, it's actually kind of funny. So when you're walking, that's the normal walk frame multiplier for checking encounters. But if you hold down the B button, since you run at double speed, they actually just double the encounter rate while you're holding down the B button.
Yeah, that does seem like a way to keep the encounter rate sort of, quote, constant.
Oh, we don't have game music because on the Japanese stream where the game audio is coming from, they've also got the Japanese commentary, and this is so we're not like talking over them. It's not an ideal solution, but it's the best we've got.
Yes. If you are interested in the game audio and the Japanese commentary, this is being broadcast on twitch.tv/RTA in Japan. And so if you're interested in that, you can watch that. But if you prefer to receive your knowledge about the game in English, that's what we're here for.
Alright, so if you want to know, like, what's going on now...
I'm pretty sure we just had blue sheep happen.
Maybe. There's also some pink sheep. So the little eyeball portal things, Rogue is kind of like base, and he teleported all your friends away to different countries, and now you've got to go find them, and Zach's on like a reality TV show. Kizumaru, whatever you want to call him.
Okay.
So you have to like convince him that the Loch Ness monster isn't real, so he stops being on the TV show. It's a typical Mega Man RPG plot.
That sounds entirely legit.
And yeah, this is a Mr. Hertz encounter. These have a 1 in 16 chance to appear whenever the game would roll an encounter check. It's pretty bad luck when you get one, but since the game will still be rolling encounter checks even when you have stealth body active, can still hit them.
Yep. I mean, you've still got that 1 in 16 chance. Over the course of a run, I feel like you're gonna get several.
Yeah. I just want to convince myself it's unlucky.
So, this character that he just talked to, the one with the very blonde
trails.
Yeah, I look when he was in her house a little while ago. It said "incho," which I think is the word for class representative.
Yeah, she's like the leader of Gio's class, and she's really tsundere for him. And one other thing that I really appreciate that Kay did is on the top left screen, he wasted some time to go get the background with Luna's face on it.
Well, that's important.
So this is the second dungeon, or well, this is like the third real dungeon, and this dungeon's pretty cool. There's a bunch of items buried, and you need to solve like riddles to find like key items buried. But there's also like a bunch of just extra sub items and battle cards buried that if you buy the strategy guide, you'll know where they are.
It's because, you know, it's not like we're trying to sell anything here.
If you dig in the wrong spot, you dig up a virus and you get into an encounter.
Oh boy, that sounds like a great way to waste an entire weekend just digging in spots trying to find free stuff.
Yeah, you buy enough stealth bodies for the entire run at the start, because with like the little wave command cards, you can also give yourself Zenny. And yeah, this dungeon is only 2 rooms, so it's almost over. Like I said, the second half of this run goes by really quickly.
Looks like Donbra something. That's a kanji I don't recognize.
It's just Loch Ness. They tried to do like really bad puns.
Nice.
It doesn't look like he's digging up any of the extra items.
So yeah, it does sound like this particular dungeon would take a long time if you were playing it casually.
Yeah, some of the riddles are pretty vague.
This appears to be some sort of boss. Might be the actual Loch Ness monster, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, this is Brachiosaur for Wave. It's been too long. And one thing to note with the Buster is each wave does 150, except one of the waves is elemental and it'll deal double.
Nice.
So when you see the little 2 exclamation points coming up, that's from the electric element hitting. Oh, I think I might have just said they each do 150, they each do 50. So it's 200 a hit.
Right, it's a 50 total, or 150 total, except one of them is going to be doubled.
Yeah, correct. Unless anything is fire element, because for some reason they didn't include a tribe for Aqua.
Yeah, so basically your standard 4-element setup.
Yeah,
with a
more or
circle of weaknesses.
Yeah, they had to cut 2 versions though. There was supposed to be a tribe for Null element and one for Aqua, but by them cutting the Aqua element tribe, now Fire element stuff just doesn't have a weakness.
All right. So about an hour and 10 minutes into this run, I'd like to remind everybody that, for those of you who don't know, we are watching the RTA in Japan Marathon, showcasing some of the best speedrunners from Japan. This will run all the way through Saturday on the Speed Gaming 3 channel, and I hope all of you are here to watch as much of that as you can. So looks like we're getting some more HP boosters here.
Yeah, and also just filling out some of the required quests.
And now we're back into the Skyway.
Yep, and just immediately on to the next dungeon.
Skywave, excuse me. Alright, so this would be the Skywave for Loch Ness.
It's like one long line. So if you go past Loch Ness, you'll be in What's Up. There's only going to be one more Skywave trip before he unlocks a shortcut, though, which is going to heavily cut down on walking here.
So, for those of us who didn't hear earlier, are the person doing the commentary for this run is Juniper.
Hey, I routed this game.
Junipurr.
Don't call anyone that. That's my private Discord name.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm joking. I don't care.
But yeah, Juniper is running the commentary, and I am asking questions and sounding dumb.
Yo, it's all good.
Because Juniper is the one who actually knows things about this game.
I'm also the one who overslept.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
This scenario is going to be really short. He's basically just going to spam plot triggers for like 5 minutes and then he's in the next dungeon. And there's going to be one more fight with Rogue. The Rogue fights are like some of the more fun fights in the game because he's like way faster than most of the enemies.
Aha. Are they still fun in cards mode, or is it just gonna be face roll like everything else?
It's gonna be face roll, except he's gonna be praying to draw the cards he has on his blank cards. Cause like, if you take the time to add any blank card, it needs to be really, really good. So what I did in my route is they were all just gigas. And if you just like drew the elemental weakness giga for a boss, they instantly died if you drew it on turn 1. And then right now, Bud thinks he's like the king of these people, and you need to go make him some like beef rice or something.
That seems like a completely logical set of events.
Oh, what is he buying from the shop? Oh, more HP. I was confused. I think you can buy Paralyzed Grenade is blank card only. He has like some other grenade. I'm trying to remember because I was routing all icons for this game and that shop had some like really powerful card. The Japanese version is faster because of text, but you can still run this category on the North American version. It's negligibly slower because of how fast you can advance text. If you're running without cards, though, you have to run on the PAL version. The PAL version replaces the blank cards with Zenny, and you need that Zenny to be able to afford Stealth Body.
All right. So, is this that rogue fight you were talking about?
Yeah, this fight is really fun, but he drew Leo Kingdom GX, which is like 550 damage, or...
And then doubled, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, as
1,100 damage.
Yeah, the commentary on the Japanese stream just, clearly said overkill.
So that's like one of the things I mentioned about blank cards. Like, if you're going to enter any card, it needs to be really, really good.
Because entering those cards does take a non-trivial amount of time, and you actually have to be able to point the silly stick where you want it to go.
Well, not just that, but you're not going to consistently get them, since you can't set chips as like your regular chip in this game.
Yeah, that Leo King, I believe is what you called it.
Leo Kingdom GX.
That was a particularly devastating looking attack. It's just like, basically everything is about to just get wrecked.
Yeah, it's the best Giga because it also has the fastest animation. Yeah, so you can favorite 4 cards in this game. Favoriting is how they tried to like replace setting chips as regular. So what you can normally do in this game is you can select chips of the same name, or you can select chips in the same column. But if you set a card as your favorite, which if you look on the left screen, you'll see he has Cannon, Airshot, Mini Grenade, and Recovery 10. Those cards become white, and white cards can be selected with anything else.
Aha.
White cards are like star codes from Battle Network.
So basically, when you make a play here, you're gonna select what, 2 cards and make it happen, or?
Yeah, except in Tribe King and with Berserker form, you can select in a column or a row, so you can generally select 3 a turn. That's why for the no card speedrun, you play on the Berserker version.
So they're once again in the Loch Ness Skywave, and then that portal, I believe.
And right now he is getting a little shortcut, so now he can greatly cut down on the time of... He never has to go to the Loch Ness Skywave again.
And that was momentarily he was in the starting town Skywave.
Alright, so I'll explain this again for people who just joined. This category is called Any % Cards. And what a card is it's not a battle card, but it's a wave command card. It's a separate peripheral, kind of peripheral. They were sold in like trading card packs. You place them on the touch screen, and they would like show you little touchscreen inputs that you could enter for separate effects, like starting every battle in Tribe King, attack modifiers, HP modifiers. And this dungeon's actually kind of cool how it works. So you have to collect the fire hearts, bring them back to a pedestal, but you can't let Terra Condor hit you, otherwise you drop the fire hearts. But the Condor attacks you based on like a radius placed on the ground, and you can avoid entering them when possible to skip ever having him dive at you. So you like take suboptimal paths so you can avoid the Condor dives.
Yeah. So this game sounds like it required what we call a non-trivial amount of routing time to figure it out.
For no cards, yes. Cards like K's put a lot of time into running this game, but the route is kind of you go forward. Since, like, I said you couldn't set cards as, like, your default, and this game, like, really wants you to use a lot of hidden stuff. So doing this game, no cards, you're severely underpowered.
So,
yeah, the cards have, like, basically just there's an invisible keyboard on the bottom screen that's, like, never explained in game. And the little card basically just shows you where the keyboard is and what order to tap things in.
So you one thing. So you mentioned that you can't set cards as a default like you could in previous games. So what that means is there's sort of like a kind of like a deck building element to this game, right?
Yeah, the Battle Network and Star Force games are all like heavily deck building oriented. They're really, really fun. And in a lot of like Battle Network and Star Force games, you just like get one stick combo, set it as default, or like RNG manipulate it, and that's all you spam for the entire run. But in Star Force 2 no cards, since you can't do that, you actually need to like have your entire folder be useful.
Yeah, that sounds like a very, very interesting challenge.
It's one of those things that like it either be really fun or really awful, and it just I'm lucky and it turned out to be really fun. Star Force 1 is kind of the opposite. Star Force 1 is just like a random nightmare. And this is the final area of this dungeon, so it's basically over. And he knows exactly where the Condor is gonna dive, because like I said, it's based on like specific trigger points.
Alright. So we've got 3 of the Fire Hurts guys. Just gonna drop them all in the one spot. That makes sense.
Right, and now if he can draw Leo Kingdom GX again, this fight is instantly over. This is one of the more annoying bosses since you're on like kind of a tight turn limit with him, since he likes to go off screen.
It looks like the card we were looking for was not actually drawn.
But Heat Grenade is still really good, so Also, having a 200 damage buster helps.
Yeah, there is that. And so that takes care of the obligatory fire dungeon.
Yep, and now the next dungeon's like gonna be another pseudo dungeon where it's just a repurposed area, like the first time when Kodama Town was repurposed into like rogue dungeon. Now he's gotta go to the Bermuda Maze.
But can we find any shorts there? That's the important part.
Let's hope not.
Okay.
So yeah, one other thing about this game that's like kind of different from Battle Network, if you're more familiar with Battle Network, is there's no Navi customizer in this game. Instead, you just straight up equip things from a menu. And you don't need to like fit them into a grid or anything. And the amount of things you can put in is based on the amount of friendship points you have.
Friendship points.
Hell yeah. He has 260 right now.
Nanska. I think that's what that says. I don't know what Nanska is.
All you need to know is Gio is overcoming his depression and now he has friends. And then one other thing is, even though he's in the same areas, he still actually needs to hit certain HP thresholds before certain points, because after like choke points or like specific things trigger in the game, encounters in old areas will change. So by K defeating Terra Condor, he's changed the encounters in Loch Ness, and now he needs a higher HP value to be able to use Stealth Body here.
So yeah, you just gotta keep cranking that HP up. Even though you don't need it to survive the fights.
Yeah, that is like a really nice benefit of needing so much for no cards, because like I said, no cards is severely underpowered. You do the whole run with basically your starting folder, which is definitely not what Capcom wanted you to do.
Wow.
Capcom wanted you to buy those wave command cards and strategy guide. Subaru's dad is dead, and Gio was depressed about it in the first game, and then Gio forgets he has a dad in the second game, and in the third game you find your dad turned into a radio, and now he's inside of a dragon in space.
What?
Mega Man RPGs.
Okay, that's I'm gonna wow.
Alright, so basically what he just got there is that was a key item that just tells him where the next dungeon is. So now in game you know to go to Bermuda Maze. But the game is going to do a really cool thing where you enter Bermuda Maze and the game plot warps you out, and then you need to run back.
Why you gotta do that to me, game? Why you
Thanks,
gotta do that?
Capcom.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the timer.
He's just getting on extra world record pace. This is the real speedrun strat. Just stop the timer until you're about to finish the game. With enough Kizuna force, your timer just stops and you get world record every time.
I think they just mentioned it on the Japanese stream. Said, "Wait, the timer? What?"
This run is too fast to be timed. But yeah, basically he's just going to be entering Bermuda Maze. He gets plot warped out, then he needs to go back, and that's sort of the makeshift dungeon here. So he's almost done with this scenario. And you're gonna need to fight another friend now, because you'll see his friendship points went down. Somebody just unfriended him on Facebook.
Jerks.
I know, we need our 50 friendship back.
Why you gotta unfriend peoples? Yeah, it looks like we're getting that timer dealt with for a second.
And then the Murrians are kind of weird enemies. And no cards, they're really annoying, but here, because of your Buster, you have a really good way of dealing with them. The first time you use a battle card or any sort of attack that's not dimming, they'll put their shields up. So unless you have piercing damage, you need to bait their shield to raise, and then after it's lowered, then you can attack.
Or you can draw the Leo Kingdom card and just wreck everybody.
Heat grenades are also really good. I assume this is one of the reasons why he gets them. Because his Buster would not be killing these guys in one hit, some of them.
So what was that?
That's Apollo Flame SP. That's where I took 2 gigas, I did take a third card, and it was Apollo Flame SP, which is a mega just because it's so good.
Nice.
The no card speedrun also heavily uses it.
Yeah, so in no cards, you're still using battle cards. You're just not using the wave command cards.
Correct, and there's some carryover between strats for some things Apollo Flame SP is just such a good battle card. You want to get it in both categories. And you can see in this fight, that's why just drawing a battle card that could instantly end those is really nice. Because they don't exactly take amazing battle cards to end. But
Oh, and it looks like we've got another one of them rogue fights.
yeah, except this one you're required to die. Or there might be a turn limit on this. I don't know if there is. I think there's a turn limit since he's going in and out of the menu. I only did 1 run of no cards, or 1 run of cards, yeah. So after 3 turns, they just kick you out of the fight. In no cards, you just have Rogue kill you and that automatically ends it.
Yeah. In this mode, it looks like it would take too long for that to happen because you've got so much HP.
Oh no, the one time where it's bad. Reminder that no Mega Man RPG has a good story. Just gonna be real here. Command mission is as close as you get. This game is really lovable. In like the sense of it's like so nonsensical, it's just like fun.
I mean, it's adorable, I can tell right now.
Maybe I'm giving Capcom too much credit. But then yeah, right now Kay is just gonna go to Bermuda Maze. He's gonna fight his friend so he can get her re-added on Facebook. And then he's at the next two bosses basically. And then it's on to the final dungeon.
All right.
The
So-
second half of this game is one of the reasons why I like it so much for speedrunning. The pacing is really, really nice with how just quick it is. It's just dungeon after dungeon with very little downtime. And relative to like Battle Network and Star Force standards. And then I don't really know if Kay has gotten too many counter hits earlier, but one thing that's really fun in these games, Star Force specifically, is in Battle Network 4 through 6, when you get a counter hit, the next battle chip you use will be double damage, but in this game it just generates a new battle card for you to use when you get a counter hit. So in no cards you counter hit a ton to get extra damage output.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Being a guy who has played his share of Magic: The Gathering, I'm not opposed to repeatable card draw.
Hell yeah, you just got a cantrip with like every single card on your deck. And then this area is actually interesting because where I said the Skywave has a walk frame multiplier, this has a reduced walk frame multiplier. I think it's 0.5 times. So Kay will not get any encounters here and he doesn't even need to use Stealth Body. He's got one
Nice.
active just because he was in the Skywave previously. I believe this area is 21 rooms long.
Seems entirely legit.
Don't worry, you gotta go through it again.
Oh, okay. Just as long as we weren't going to, miss out on this illustrious number of rooms here.
This fantastic place where it's actually impossible to get encounters. Because you transition rooms before the game can even start rolling for encounters. And when you transition rooms, then the walk frame counters reset to 0. Alright, so he's got 2 bosses coming up. He's got Hollow, and then he has Rogue EX. Rogue EX is the one to focus on. Rogue EX will have like a shield up where when he moves to a panel, he'll have the shield up that absorbs 1 hit. So you've got to basically wait for him to attack so he doesn't have it up.
So is this particular boss sort of invulnerable on those panels there?
No, the panels there will spawn enemies.
Oh, okay. Just he looked like he did some attacks and just didn't do any damage at one point.
Yeah, Hollow can just go invincible.
Oh, okay.
It's not like an annoying random, but it's not related to like the panels or anything.
So he did draw the Leo Kingdom GX.
Yep, correct.
Yes, good card there at the start, but that didn't finish it off because it was still guy had 1600 HP.
Yep, so like I said, Rogue is basically Kay's just gonna wait until he attacks to really start dealing damage, because that's when he has no shield up. But the shield is only like when he moves to a panel, the shield will only absorb one hit, so even with shield, 2 of the shockwaves will get through.
And looks like Rogue pulls Cloud Strife's sword out of nowhere and starts stabbing people.
Yeah, that fight is really intense and no cards. That's like one of the few places where it's totally reasonable to die. Because that sword, his attacks are really hard to counter hit, which is what you're trying to do unless you have an attack with a lingering hitbox, in which case counter hits are completely free because he just teleports in and gets countered. That's like one recurring theme with this game is any battle card that has a lingering hitbox is like way too good, because you can just throw it out and a lot of enemies will teleport right into it and get countered.
Nice.
So now it's basically just walking to the final dungeon. And
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the final dungeon is why no one runs this game on emulator. If you see, like, every run on the leaderboards is on console, specifically because of this dungeon coming up.
So what makes it worse on emulator?
Like, you have 3 seconds to draw a symbol that's, like, gonna be randomly selected on the touchscreen. And if you don't, you have to fight a Murian.
Alright, yeah, that seems entirely reasonable.
This is like the only other threatening part in no cards. You have to do 4 of these G-Virus Gauntlet fights back to back. And there's a couple really awful ones, like this Fox Foo enemy. Well, never mind. Don't even need to explain it. But some of these enemies are really, really obnoxious if you're fighting with, like, the default folder.
Alright, so that's 3 of them down. Looks like, I guess you said 1 more, and...
Yep, 4 fights.
Looks like these guys aren't going to be weak to any of your shots.
Yep, because they're Heat Element and Null Element. Null Element doesn't have a weakness, and they didn't feel like putting an Aqua Tribe in the game. Pirate had to get canned. So if you ever wanted to see Mega Man with a pirate hat and an alien dog on his hand, just know that Capcom hecked you out of that in Star Force 2.
Yeah, that does sound like sounds like we have deprived the world of something beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you talked about that, but Gio's alien doggo friend just sitting on his hand, and that's his Buster in the Star Force games.
Nice.
It's really cool. But yeah, final dungeon should be pretty quick. However, I don't believe he'll be able to stealth body through it, so he's gonna have to just run away from encounters. I might be
Alright.
incorrect, though. I forget. We will find out.
Yep, so we may get to see some good old-fashioned RPG running away.
I love 75% run rates.
That's certainly better than, say, 50% run rates or 25%
Wow, it's like you're
run
playing
rates.
no cards. No cards has to do it with a 50%. The one nice thing about running, though, is even though it's 50%, you'll always run on turn 3.
Ah, okay. So there's
So basically,
a
the
cap.
villain is like sucking everyone's friendship out right now. So everyone else is at like 0 friendship.
Well, you should really do something about that.
Facebook is down and Geo needs to travel to the headquarters to fix the servers. And then normally this is where you'd get your 1 giga. The giga he gets here is, I think, Phantom Slash. It's garbage.
All right. Garbage, in fact, confirmed.
I'm not sure why he's on Saurian, actually. I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, it's so negligible, it's just do whatever.
So, if I could sum up this game in, or you know, the premise for this game in one sentence, it would be: Mega Man builds a storm deck to kill Mark Zuckerberg.
In cards, I'd say it's more like Dredge.
Yeah, Dredge is probably correct.
You just kind of face roll everything. Unless you get a bad opening hand and then you're just done. You're gone,
Scoop it up and
so.
go to game 2. Okay, so I'm gonna step away for a short time. I'm sure you can handle yourself for a little bit.
Alright, enjoy yourself. This is only like 6 rooms long, so he's not going to be in the Bermuda Maze for too long, and it's just do Phantom Black EX, then Final Dungeon, which includes refights. There's really like not too much to say from here. It's just a slow, casual walk to the end. Sort of like the gimmick of the final dungeon, in addition to having like the patrolling enemies that you need to do a touchscreen minigame for. There's gonna be like 4 little runes you need to search out in each of the room, and when you find the 4 runes, you like have to order them properly and draw them again on the touchscreen. So another boon for emulator players. Alright, so we'll see if he actually gets encounters. I forget what the run rate is here, but stealth bodies actually do have an effect, even if you don't meet the 100% run rate. It's just not that great. I really like the Moo theme. It's one of my favorite themes in the game. Just pretend you're listening to it. And then this game is like also really weird how it pulls inputs for doing the touchscreen stuff. So like, even if you're actually going from point to point, if you do it too quickly, the game won't have pulled the right inputs. So it'll have you skip so you can't go too fast when drawing them. Yeah, that it looked like an encounter through stealth bodies, so his stealth body's like not completely filtering out random encounters here. How stealth body's working right now is if a successful encounter check would be rolled, it's filtering it up to 3 times.
All right. So I believe I saw some of that. Thank you. I believe I saw some of that drawing thing you were talking about.
Yeah, and it also doesn't look like his stealth bodies are like truly active. So what they're doing right now is if a successful encounter check would be rolled, it's filtering it up to 3 times until it gets into an encounter or transitions areas.
Aha.
But he should have a 75% run rate, so getting into encounters isn't too bad.
There we go.
So there's just 2 more rooms of this and then final boss. And the refights are all just gonna be as much of a pushover as the initial encounters.
Is there any difference in the statistics between them?
Yeah, they have more HP, slightly changed attack patterns, they're faster. And that was unfortunate, because Yeti Blizzard has he can do one of 2 things in the EX fight. He can either, like, stand still and call down, like, more snowballs to fall, or he can, like, jump at you and pound you. And if he pounded K, that's a free counter hit.
All right.
I think that's gonna be the only fight he might have counter hit on. So, rest in peace, skill-based video game.
Game of skill, no luck involved. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, the next 2 rooms are fairly short, so time is coming up probably in like 10 minutes. That's short in JRPG terms. And then you saw him slip by a couple guys when they're on corners, on some types of corners. But they don't actually go all the way to the wall, so you can like slide past them. It's nice or applicable, but you can slightly manipulate their movement, but the cycles are so long that keeping your movement consistent enough to do it is like not even worth it. So there's just 2 more refights. Brachio Wave here, and then Terra Condor.
All right.
And then K could get a counter hit if he feels like going for it here. getting a counter hit is a little awkward for him with a lopped card like this, because he will move a random number of times. It's like a minimum of 3, but after that he can just attack whenever. But since the delay before the attack actually hits is so long, you just kind of gotta YOLO. You'll get it or you don't, but damage gets in either way.
He's in no real damage of losing.
It's not about losing, it's just about possibly getting Leo Kingdom GX off of the counter hit.
You always want to go fast.
And then I also mentioned, but the game is kind of weird about how it pulls the touchscreen inputs. So if you go too fast when drawing those, it won't register.
Down to 2 stealth bodies now.
Yep, and he's basically at the end. He just needs to get 2 more runes, and he's good. So if you're playing on emulator, you'd actually want to learn, like, really hard manipulations for how to control the Marian movement, so you never need to draw on them. But if you're on console, you just don't even care.
What if my computer has a touchscreen?
Oh, then you're just so lucky, aren't you?
Maybe. Anyway,
this is the final room, so just 1 more door, Terra Condor EX, and then walk to the final boss with no encounters. The interesting thing is this game is almost over now. Do you have, like, some general RTA in Japan information you want to plug?
yeah, so for those of you just joining us, the RTA in Japan Marathon is what you are watching right now. This is the English restream being streamed on Speed Gaming 3. The RTA in Japan Marathon showcases some of the best in Japanese speedrunning, and we'll be running all the way through this weekend. So make sure to stick around and catch that as much as you can. Right now we are playing Mega Man Star Force 2, and we are coming up right on the end of this game. So I'm going to let you cover the important ending stuff.
Yeah, so why many people don't run this game is, 1, because doing this final dungeon on emulator is the worst, but also, like you said, if you're running any percent cards, let's be honest here, it's not the most exciting run. You just kind of base roll everything. But on the opposite side, if you're running no cards, which I'm the only person who's run no cards, it gets really, really challenging. It's like one of the hardest Battle Network and Star Force runs. So you've either got a run that's way too easy, or a run that's like asking way more of you than most BNSF runs. And you also need to play a DS game on console. It's like a perfect storm of bad options. But yeah, here's Lei Mu. This initial barrier is 800 HP. Then you just have to deal the 2000. And time is gonna come up. Not after he kills the boss, but Then he has to like run up the staircase to lose control, and that's when time ends.
Alright, so we got the Leo Kingdom card, so that helps.
Yeah, I made a really good video of this boss and any percent cards. If you literally just hold down the B button to rapid fire your buster and you don't move at all, you'll kill the final boss before he kills you. That sums up this category really well. Alright, so really solid run by Kay. It was cool seeing him play in real life since he's like put a lot of time into running this category, so big congratulations to him.
Alright. So we'll be coming up on time shortly.
In like 10 seconds. Alright, so again, big shout outs to Kay. I'm glad he showed this game off. I really like it.
Alright. Now, I think traditional Japanese RTA timing tends to use like the end of the credits.
Yeah, JRTA timing for this game goes until like the game clears screen, but that adds about 6 minutes. The credits are like 5 minutes long, plus all
So
the stuff you have to skip now.
So we would call time by now.
Yeah, for US timing, this would be a 202, like 26 or something.
Alright.
So this will be underestimated. It'll be like a low 208. Or maybe a high 207, I forget. Alright, well, there's not much more else to say, so
Yep. Well played
I think
to
I'm gonna
K
dip
Silic.
out.
And yeah, thank you, Juniper, for your excellent and insightful commentary that, you know, as opposed to some other people on this stream actually knows what they're talking about.
Can I shout somebody out in chat? K streams on
Sure.
Twitch. Like, I'm not sure if you have his Twitch link in chat.
Sure, go ahead. But yeah, the Twitch name is shown on the screen.
Oh, it
occasionally.
is. Okay, I wasn't sure if they just like linked to a general Nico. Never mind. I'm blind.
It's KEI underscore SILIC.
Okay, never mind then. I was literally just gonna link his Twitch. Yeah, go follow him though. He's a cool dude.
So yeah, follow the runners are always they put in a lot of effort on this, and we appreciate anyone who wants to support these runners with a follow or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head out now. Thanks for having me. Have a good rest
All
of the
right.
marathon.
Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we will be continuing with the RTA in Japan Marathon shortly. This marathon shows off the best in Japanese speedrunning, and we will be coming up on Pokemon Gold and Silver. So yeah, Pokemon Gold and Silver coming up next. That's going to be a 3-hour plus run. It's any percent glitchless, which is a very interesting category. All right. So, welcome back, everybody, to the RTA in Japan Marathon. This is the English restream on Speed Gaming 3. I'd like to give a specific shout out to the Speed Gaming Network in general. All sorts of interesting speedrunning events happening all hours of the day, all over the place. So, make sure to follow all of the Speed Gaming channels for all of your speed gaming needs. And we will be heading over to Pokemon Gold and Silver shortly. All right, so that's apparently when the time happens for the Japanese timing.